Hi, welcome to the Explainer series for Quant. Here we'll be using very simple concepts and apply it to CAT level problems and solve them as easily as possible. Today we'll be discussing the terms which are associated with surds. We will be looking at rationalization, how a surd is defined. We'll also be solving a few questions which are from the past CAT and IFT papers and try to do it as quickly as possible. I would suggest pause this video, look at the PDF, link is available in the description of this video. Once you have tried this set on your own, then proceed with the rest of this session. Please do share this with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. You can like and follow us on Facebook as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel to get live event and notifications for all the updates regarding CAT and other MBA entrance examination. You can also look at our WhatsApp as well as Telegram lists. You can join over there and we will update you. We don't spam over there. If you want, you can enroll for our Quant and LRDI courses. These are the best and the most comprehensive courses available in the market. Surds are very closely related to indices, right? The technical definition of a surd, if A is a rational number and N is a natural number, such that nth root of A is not equal to B, where B is another rational number, which means square root of 9, which becomes 3. Now 3 by itself is a rational number, right? So root 9 is not a surd, as we have discussed here, right? However, third root of 9 will be a surd. Fourth root of 64 will be a surd, right? So all these values are there. Now, other parts, A, which is your base in case of an index, is called a radicand. N is the order of the surd, right? So let's jump into some questions. The first one is from IFT 2016. It has come up in CAT also previously. Pretty straightforward question. Just like you solve it for fractions, finding out which of them is the highest is also not very difficult. So this is 2 to the power half. This is 3 to the power 1 by 3, 4 to the power 1 by 4. Right. So let's raise it to a common power. If I raise all of them to a common power, then the inequality will hold. Right. If A is bigger than B, right, and A and B are positive numbers, then A to the power n will be bigger than B to the power n if n is a natural number. Right? If n is a natural number, then as long as you are raising it to the same power, the inequality will stay the same, right? What will the power that we'll raise to? LCM of 2, 3 and 4. LCM of 2, 3 and 4 is 12. So raise each of them to the power 12. Again, we'll use the property that we used last time around. A to the power x whole to the power y will be equal to A to the power x into y, right? We discussed this in the last session on indices. You can check that out in case you want a refresher on that. Okay, so half into 12 will be 6, this will be 4, and this will be 3. 2 to the power 6 will be 64, 3 to the power 4 will be 81, and 4 to the power 3 will also be 64. Right, so option B will be your correct choice. Largest among the three is 3 to the power 4, which is 81. Pretty straightforward. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Again, this is from IFT. IFT has a specific affinity towards surds. Okay. So usually you get 2 or 3 questions out of 30 from surds itself. So nice thing if you're targeting IFT. Okay. The value of x for which the equation is satisfied. This equation is satisfied. Now, one thing which we need to make sure is that this number you cannot put a root, negative square root. That will become a complex number, and the right hand side is not a complex number. It's a real number. 5 plus root 7 is a real number. So there is no way that x will take a value such that this becomes negative, right? So first part will be 4x minus 9 will be greater than 0, which means x has to be greater than 9 by 4 or definitely more than 2, right? So A and B are out. Now that leaves us with 3 and 4. You can substitute the values and solve it. If you put 3 here, 4 into 3 is 12 minus 9. Square root will be root 3. Right, 4 into 3 is 12. 12 plus 9 is root 21. Now this does not resolve to 5 plus root 7, so this is out. Option D will be your correct choice. You can verify it if you want, though you don't have to do it, but you can verify it if you want to. 16 minus 9 is 7, square root. 16 plus 9 is 25, square root 25 is 5. 5 plus root 7, option D is your correct choice. Let's try the next one. Now, this is something which has come up in CAT. Again, it has come up in IFT, very recent IFT papers as well. That was something like 7 plus square root of 7 minus 7 plus so on. The one on IFT was something like this. Here, the CAT one is this one. This came up in CAT 2005. IFT was very recent, about I think 2015 or 16. It was here. So let's try this. X is equal to square root of 4 plus square root of 4 minus square root of 4 plus square root of 4 minus blah 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 till infinity. Now obviously you can resolve this by using a quadratic equation and try to solve it. Let's try to do it with the options, because we have the options given to us, and most of these questions will contain an option, right? Because they have an irrational value over here. Till now CAT has not evolved to give a type in the question which has a square root in the options where you have to type it in. So let's try to approximate this and see how many options we can eliminate. Okay, so if I take the first term, right, so value of x will be square root of 4 plus a positive number, right, which means the value of x has to be greater than square root of 4. Square root of 4 is basically 2, so value of x is greater than 2. Now we'll have to figure out the value of root 13, but other than that, the other values are known to us, right? This is more than 2, this seems more than 2, this is more than 2, this is something which will be a tie. One of them might be eliminated. Let's figure that out later on. Okay, let's try the one more term, right? If I take the second term, this will be square root of 4 minus some positive number, which means the second root, right, root 4 is 2, 4 minus some positive number will give a value which is less than 2, right? Which means the upper bound of x should be square root of 6. 4 plus root 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. But this value has to be less than, the resulting number has to be less than 6. So the value of x should lie between root 6 and 2. Root 6 and 2. Now this is out. This is out. Option A and D are out. That leaves us with B and C. Let's evaluate how much will be root 13. Now, root 13 will lie between 3 and 4. Right. Root 13 minus 1 will lie between 2 and 3. Right. If you divide this by 2, right, when you subtract 1 divided by 2, you will get a value which is between 1 and 1.5. Between 1 and 1.5. I want a value which is between 2 and root 6. So option B is out. We can do a similar sort of way and figure out how much will be option C. Option C would be, by the same logic, between 3 and 4 plus 1 divided by 2. Something which is between 3 and 4 plus 1 will end up in between 4 and 5, and then you divide by 2. So it will be between 2 and 2.5, which is what this range is. Option C is your correct choice. We could have done it about a minute earlier. I just tried to explain it to you in much more detail. The next thing which is very commonly associated with surds is the concept of rationalization. What is rationalization? You convert an irrational number like a surd into a rational number. You usually do it by multiplication, right? So for example, something like 5 root 3, you can multiply it by root 3 to get 15, or you can multiply by 2 root 3 to get 30. That's pretty straightforward. You can also rationalize something which is of the form a plus root b, just multiply by a minus root b. And you can also do it the reverse. You can multiply a minus root b with a plus root b. Right. In both the cases, you'll get a rational number. If you multiply a plus root b with a minus root b, it is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3. Similarly, if you multiply a minus root b with a plus root b, you'll get 2 minus root 3 into 2 plus root 3, resolved to a natural number here. For a plus root a plus root b multiplied by root a minus root b, or converse, whatever be the case, right? And if you want to rationalize the denominator, multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate, right? So if you have of the form 1 by a plus root b, multiply by a minus root b, right? So this is a pretty straightforward way. Now, something like this came up in CAT 2019, slot 1. So this was the question, right? It seems like a progression question along with surds. Best way to solve this is, again, the options, right? The question says a1, a2, etc. are in arithmetic progression. Then what is the value of 1 by root of a1 plus root of a2 plus 1 by root of a2 plus root of a3, so on till 1 by root of an plus root of an plus 1. Obviously, you can expand it in terms of a geometric of a arithmetic progression, right? Write down a2 is equal to a1 plus d, a2 is equal to a1 plus d, a3 is equal to a1 plus 2d. Figure that out and try to resolve this. That is probably a 5-mark question in a CBSE exam. We basically want to solve it in about a minute and a half's time in a CAT examination. Nobody's going to bother how we reach the final answer, right? Best way out, use the options. Let's take a simple series. Arithmetic progression, say 1, 4, 7. Let's take 3 terms, right? So I'll have to just add the first 2 part. So it will be 1 by 1 plus root 4 plus 1 by root 4 plus root 7. Right, if you rationalize this, you will get root 4 minus 1 divided by difference will be 3. Similarly, this will be root 7 minus root 4, difference will be 3. Since the difference is 3, I can reduce this. This will be root 7 minus 1. Now, if you look at the options, the denominator is unrationalized, right? So we need to make it irrational again. So again, we'll repeat the same process. Root 7 plus 1 divided by root 7 plus 1. This will give me 7 minus 1 divided by root 7 plus 1 into 3. This will give me 2. Now, what is 2? 2 is the number of, see, for n plus 1, the series stops at n, right? If you have to take n terms, the last one will be n plus 1. So if you take 3 terms, the last one will stop at 2. So 2 is your numerator. So this is out, this is out. Denominator is 7 plus 1. So that is a3 plus a1. So 3 plus 1 plus 1. Option A will be your correct choice. Now, obviously, you can add one more term, 10, and try to see if that holds. It will definitely hold. So in the numerator, it will become 3. Denominator will become root 10 plus root 1. Right. Best way to solve this, use the options. I identify the pattern of rationalization, job done. And the last one in this set is from CAT 2004. Now, this is a question, these type of questions you would have seen a lot in your practice books, etc. This is the reason why you get all those questions, right? It says y is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. Again, the pattern emerges. So this value is again equal to y. You can find a quadratic or a biquadratic equation and solve it. We are not going to do it, not enough time to do it. We have the options already. Let's try to solve this. Okay, so if again we'll approximate this value. So it is 1 by, if I take just this term, 2 plus some fraction, 2 plus some fraction, right? So your final answer y has to be less than 1 by 2, right? This is 2 plus some number. It will be, if it was 0, it will be 1 by 2, right? But this is a positive number. So because it's in the denominator increases, the value of the fraction decreases. So the value of y has to be less than 1 by 2. Similarly, if I take another set, right, now if this number was 1, right, this number will become 1 by 2 plus 1, which is 3, right? But this number is a larger number. So this number has to be lesser than 3. This number has to be lesser than 3, which means y has to lie between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. Y has to lie between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2, between 1/3 and half, right? Or 0.33 and 0.5, right? Obviously, option A is out because this was 3 by 2 plus a irrational number. Again, this is 3 by 2 plus root 15 by 2. Both of them will be more than 1, right? So one of these two is the option. Now we'll have to approximate the values here. Now the problem versus the previous question that we did, which was on approximating the value of root 6, right? Here, the problem is that root 11 lies between 3 and 4. Root 15 also lies between 3 and 4. Right, so we'll need a better approximation of root 11 and root 15, one of these two. The good part is if we eliminate, if one of them is right, the other one will obviously be wrong because there is only two options left. Right, so let's approximate root 11. Where does it leave us? Right, so if you observe, 30 square is 900. 32 square will be 1024, right? And 33 square will be 918 1089. So approximately 3.3. 3.3 to 3.4. Right. So a number which lies between 3.3 and 3.4, you subtract 3 from it, right? Your value will be between 0.3 and 0.4. The problem is you have to divide it by 2 again. Right? If you divide it by 2, you will get 0.15 to 0.2. It will lie between 0.15 and 0.2. Right? But I need 0.33 to 0.5. So this is out. Right? Option D will be your correct choice. Now, if you want to be doubly sure, you can actually use a calculator to do this. Now, I mean, CAT 2004 did not have a calculator. Now, in the spirit of not having a calculator, let's try to approximate this. Right? We know 4 square is 16. So how much will be root 15? Right? So 40 square equals 40 square is 1600. Right? What will be 39 square? 39 square will be 918. 9 threes are 27 into 2 is 54 plus 862, 6 will be 1521. So between 3.8 and 3.9. Again, if you subtract 3 and divide by 2, right, it will lie between 0.4 and 0.9 divided by 2, which means it will lie 0.8 and 0.9 divided by 2, which is between 0.4 and 0.45. This is exactly the range which I'm looking for here, right? So questions on surds are not very difficult. If you understand rationalization, you can play with the terms very easily. If you understand how to approximate the value of a square root, this is where you actually use. And obviously, we can always plug in the options and solve. The good part about surds, just like with most questions on indices and almost all questions on inequalities, all of them have options in them. Use the options, get out of the question within a minute, minute and a half, move on to the next set. That completes this particular session. If you liked it, please do share it with your friends who are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examination. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow our Facebook page. The links for our course are available on the description to this video. Till we meet again the next time, goodbye and all the best.